I should have destroyed that photo, or thrown it into the river, or locked it in some attic to be forgotten. But things are never that simple. Part 3. The inheritance. As I stood staring at that cursed photo of the backyard barbecue, it felt like a cold hand squeezed my heart. The face was watching me, its hollow eyes boring into mine. And suddenly, I knew exactly what I had to do. I found Rebecca and Michael. They looked exhausted, haunted by insomnia and dread. I told them about the picture on my phone, the face staring from the past. Their shock mirrored my own, but then a steely resolve formed on Rebecca's face. "We have to get rid of it," she said, her voice hoarse. "If it keeps coming back, we have to make it stop." Michael nodded grimly. "Somewhere he can't reach us. Somewhere he doesn't know." The three of us, united in our terror, fled the city. We drove for hours, almost without speaking, until we reached a remote cabin on the coast. Waves crashed against the rocks below, wind swirling through the trees. Maybe here, away from our lives and memories, the face wouldn't follow. It was foolish, I knew, but it was all I could think to do. We barricaded ourselves inside, locking every window and door. I brought the photo with me everywhere I went, clutching it like a shield. I figured if the face could track me, it would try to get into my hideout, but it didn't. For 2 full days it was silent. Relief flooded me, making me hopeful, but I knew it was only temporary. On the 3rd night, around 3 a.m., I woke up in a cold sweat. The face was back in the photo, but this time it was different. Its eyes glowed red, seeping out of the frame. I stumbled out of bed, afraid to look, but unable to tear my gaze away. The face was smiling, mocking me, and then it ripped itself free of the photo. For a moment, I could swear it was real. It hovered above the page, translucent, ghastly. Then it started moving toward me, inching closer with every blink. I backed away until my feet hit the window. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped my throat. And then it touched me. The moment its ethereal fingers brushed against my skin, pain exploded through my chest. I collapsed onto the floor, the photo falling away from me. But instead of oblivion, I was met with darkness. Blinking, I realized I wasn't in my cabin anymore. I was in a forest. The trees gnarled and twisted above me. But there was something else. Behind me stood the tall iron gates of the estate. They shimmered in the moonlight, beckoning me closer. What I felt then was an overwhelming sense of familiarity. It was like coming home, like being drawn to a place I'd always known existed. Somehow I knew that if I passed through those gates, I would find Elias. But who was he? A lost soul seeking company, a malevolent spirit preying on my fear, or something older, something far beyond my understanding. What was I supposed to do? Go to him or run? The choice tore at me, but I couldn't stay in that place forever. With shaking legs, I turned and walked toward the gates. A path illuminated itself before me, leading me deeper into the estate grounds. The towering oaks seemed to reach out, their branches clawing at the darkness. I quickened my pace, anxious to reach whatever lay ahead. Part 2. The seance. At the end of the path stood a dilapidated building. Ivy choked its stone walls, windows shattered, letting the moonlight spill across the overgrown lawn. A greenhouse, Rebecca had told me, used to be full of exotic plants, rare orchids. Now it was just a ruin, a mausoleum of withered vines and creeping shadows. I knew instinctively that I should go inside. Pushing aside the creeping vines, I entered the crumbling greenhouse. Moonlight streamed in through the holes in the roof, illuminating motes dancing in the stale air. The sight before me made my heart pound. Circling the room was a large table, draped in black velvet, lit by flickering candles. Scattered across its surface were objects I recognized from old spiritualist texts: a pendulum, a compass, a crystal ball. But the centerpiece was an ornately carved chair facing away from me. I approached cautiously. Why was the chair facing away? Was it so Elias could sit in it, or was it facing something else? A void, an in-between place where spirits lingered. Drawn to it, I reached out and turned the chair. No one sat there, but resting on the seat was a pile of faded photographs, yellowed with age. I carefully lifted them. One by one, I studied the images. Faces from another era stared back. Men and women with names like Gertrude and Horace. Were these Elias's friends, the ones who gathered at the estate for those forbidden seances? Had they too been trapped here, caught in his web? And then one photo made my blood run cold.